Hi, my name is Jackie Vasta. I'm a major in the Air Force. I'm a force support officer. I'm a dual military spouse, but my most important duty title is mom. I'm so sorry, my phone is blowing up with call me ASAP texts. I would never do this. Rob, what's going on? Are Bobby and Charlotte okay? I'm in the middle of my pitch. You're getting deployed to Afghanistan? When? May. I have squadron officer school in May. What are we gonna do about childcare? I can try to bring them with me, but remember what happened last time? Facebook, it just didn't work out. You know, we'll figure this out. I'll call you back, okay? All right, thanks. I'm so sorry, I'm so stressed out. Rob says hi, by the way. Can I reset? Leaders, the phone call you just witnessed happens in the lives of countless airmen every day, and it happened to me. Military families need access to temporary childcare. Let me further explain the problem. Our workforce is changing. We have more women serving in the active component, up from 2.5% in the 70s to nearly 20% today. We have twice as many dual military spouses with children and single parents serving than we did in 1985. We have service members listing childcare as one of their top 5 stressors related to military life. Families need access to childcare. The main avenues that airmen are seeking to get childcare is through Facebook. The Air Force allows us to sublease our childcare spots. As you'll see in these posts, there's confusion surrounding this CDC policy. There's airmen who are posting their private information like TDY dates and deployment dates in a public forum. We also have confusion with the price, and this is where it gets tricky. To break it down, childcare fees are based on total family income. So what I pay as a major is a higher rate than what a staff sergeant would pay. If I'm gonna sublease my spot to a staff sergeant, I'm gonna have to ask for a higher rate. Or maybe I can negotiate the price. Or maybe there's a bidding war for the slot. Or maybe there's potential for price gouging for airmen. It's not working and it's not safe. I knew there had to be a better way, and that's when Kinderspot was born. Kinderspot is a one-stop shop mobile app designed for parents of children enrolled in the Child Development Center to advertise, match, and sublease their spots with other eligible families with short-term childcare needs. Think Airbnb for childcare. All you have to do is register for the app and create a profile that will also capture your children's ages to make sure we get them in the right classrooms. And then you're going to search for care, enter your TDY location or even your home station if you want to sublease your spot while you're on leave. Put in how many child spots do you need, and then search. For Colorado Springs, we have 4 installations with Child Development Centers. I'm going to go ahead and select on the Air Force Academy because they have 7 Kinderspots available. This is going to take me to a page where I can connect with the Child Development Center and also take care of the payment all within the app. The payment is simply going to pause the owner spot and then charge the renter their appropriate amount based on their total family income bracket. The best part about Kinderspot is that this is a joint solution. Child Development Centers are treated as a combined resource. There are 628 Child Development Centers across the world that this whole market will be open up to. If you're a stay-at-home mom who needs a break from the kids to get some errands done, check out Kinderspot. If you're a reservist coming on orders, you need to bring your kids, go to Kinderspot. All military members on one network, that's Kinderspot. In the last 4 months, I've gained a tremendous amount of momentum with Kinderspot with the ability to pitch this idea at the Force Support Squadron Leadership Workshop, where I got the buy-in from several Force Support Squadron commanders who own and operate the Child Development Centers with their excitement to beta test this app at their CDCs. I also had the opportunity to pitch this idea in a congressional caucus that was hosted by Congresswoman Chrissy Houlihan, a former Air Force member who separated the service because of childcare issues, and that was 25 years ago. We can do better. The key stakeholders in this initiative have been Colonel Donna Turner, the commander of the Air Force Services Center, who has pledged her commitment to help propel this idea forward. I'm also going to need the support from Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, who has as recently as last week announced his commitment to making sure that we can have access and affordable childcare to all military families in his FY21 budget rollout. My ask is for $260,000. $10,000 to be dedicated to research and development to remove any barriers that are in place, and $250,000 to develop a minimum viable product that we can prototype and test at Air Force installations. I also need your help. I need senior leader advocacy to bring this idea forward up the chain of command to the Department of Defense to make Kinderspot truly the care we can share. I'd love to hear your questions.
Hey, Jackie, thanks. First, congrats on putting on major.
Thank you.
Right? That was just like in the last week, wasn't it?
My first week is major.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, you're knocking it out of the ballpark already, taking care of our airmen and families. I love this idea. You know, we've talked about it several times. What do you think are some of those barriers or whatever that we'll have to work, or challenges, or, you know, that we'll have to tackle moving it from, obviously, you know, the civilian sector onto the military sector, you know, in a highly governed structure CDC program?
Thank you for your question. I know that we are going to have to, the first barrier would have to be putting this in policy. The CDC policy for subleasing, I'm so glad we had the ability to do it, but we need to regulate it. We need to make sure that airmen aren't paying each other directly, because that's opening up everyone for vulnerabilities and liabilities, and it's not working. As far as getting like the software developed to get this in the hands of everyone in the military and make sure that our private information is protected, the vision would be to have this Kinderspot eventually linked to militarychildcare.com, which is the central portal that all military families already use just to get on the wait list. It's completely compatible with the idea I am building, and that would really be the best way to make it available to everyone. And
then the app would be developed based on that policy. We'd have to tweak the app. The payment would, because so you're not raising it back and forth, so that app would then match the policy and tag into military child care.
Yes, sir. And DoD policy. Okay. Right. So all services can use it.
Super.
So Jackie, you said now they use Facebook. How long did the Facebook word of mouth kind of get spread and kind of go down that trail versus how fast do you think or predict that we could do with the marketing so that folks will be able to use the new app that you're proposing?
Right. The biggest problem, other than the airmen paying each other on Facebook, is that you don't know what group to join. You don't know how to tap into that market to match needs and requirements. So getting it on militarychildcare.com will essentially mandate that we use militarychildcare.com as a subleasing module to connect to Kinderspot. So the marketing is really in place. We just need to make sure that we can test the app by word of mouth. And I'll tell you, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback within you know, the local women's Facebook forums, you know, excited to try this. So I mean, I think it's spreading, but eventually be mandated to get to use it.
It's a great brief. This near and dear to my heart. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I am curious whether or not you've looked beyond just the CDC, because we're talking about infants all the way through pre-K. But you have this huge segment of our population that has K through 12 that end up in the same situation that you described here, who are utilizing the youth center. And so are we looking at diving into the youth center as well and opening up the aperture beyond just the CDC for those demographics?
I would love, the vision would be to be able to tap into the family child care home networks, the FCCs, and also the school age program. And that's something that militarychildcare.com is getting after right now. So as they make progress, I'm hoping that we can universally allow subleasing within all of these different segments of the market. Awesome. That'd be awesome.
So you also had mentioned that there's going to be some standardized pricing so that a staff sergeant's not paying major rates. Is there a mechanism going the other way as well? So I'm paying Brigadier General pay, which is the highest band that they have in the CDC. I have been doing that since I was a lieutenant colonel, essentially. If I go and rent a staff sergeant's slot, am I now paying staff sergeant pay, or am I giving him Brigadier General highest rate and he's making a profit off of it?
You would be paying the Child Development Center directly according to your bracket.
Okay.
We're taking the middleman and giving it to the CDC. That way there's no airmen exchanging funds.
Okay. So it's regardless, and then he gets reimbursed then what his rate was, and then the delta goes back into the CDC.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Credited.
Yep, it's credit
back. Because if nobody wanted that spot, he would still have that spot.
And that's
he's still responsible for that spot.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, I got it.
And I think my final question is, how are we covering all the other things? Because I can see scenarios where someone's not necessarily tied into the CDC process, has a stay-at-home spouse, regardless of gender, there's a family situation where they have to leave, but now you need to tie into the CDC. How do we tie in shot records and all of that, the pre-can kind of requirements that child development centers need in order to ensure the health and safety of all the other children?
I guess, sir, that would definitely streamline it to make sure that the person that so the app is going to verify your eligibility that you can use the CDC. That's the first step. We want to make sure that this is a military family, active reserve, even non-working spouses. We can all use it. It's just priority of getting in there. That's the issue. So the app is going to bring that family to the CDC where they'll complete the registration paperwork. And eventually one day, once we can get all the HIPAA in there, you can store the shot records, then we really won't even have to, we can cut that whole step out. So that would be in a couple phases. I could foresee that in the vision. And I know that in talks with the services center, we're all going down that route too, to kind of modernize the whole child development program. So it would be in concert with all of those actions that we're trying to bring together to just, get into the 21st century.
Concur.
Modernization. Awesome.
No, super. I think this is a great idea. I think it solves some of the issues we have with trying to do this on the fly with Facebook and putting ads up on the CDC bulletin board or any of those sorts of things. So great idea. Thanks.
I think it's awesome, Jackie. Is there if it takes us a while or we can't get into militarychild.com,
right?
Is there a lesser version of this, or something that can be rolled out now versus 2 years? I mean, you may end up still having to pay each other, but hey, if you sign up and you want to do it, they can follow the rules. I love the idea that anybody can get on there, or would that just be more like Facebook today? Is there a lesser?
Yes, sir. I think that we still need a solution regardless just to handle the payment issue. Right. And if that's the minimum viable product that we can get with this $260,000, I know we can do that in 6 months. I have small businesses that have already approached me just because this idea has gained some momentum that have the ability to develop the software or, the mobile app. So I know even a temporary solution to bridge the gap is definitely in the right direction.
Right. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's something that's needed. Sometimes it takes more bureaucracy and a lot more time to get into militarychildcare.com because all the HIPAA and all the things that are in there. So that's what I was looking for. So, Chief, you got anything?
I do. Major, great briefing.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure that $260K was the ask today. That's what the ask was today.
That's the ask for today.
I kind of got a little lost there, but I want to tap into resiliency a little bit. And you hit on it. Your phone call, by the way, was a great illustration of what so many folks go through. But there's also other applications here that I would ask that we explore and we look at along the lines of resiliency. Is give parents a break. When you're PCSing and you just need that extra time because you're doing household goods and those sorts of things, all of those typical things that you think First Sergeant, what they're handling, there's a lot of other individual day-to-day. It's not so much just because I'm going TDY or whatever where this can help our airmen. It is a need out there. They'll do it, black market or whatever. So I applaud you for reaching out there and looking for a solution and bringing some ideas our way. So thank you, ma'am. Great job.
Thank you, Chief. And if I can add, I think this is also going to be a huge retention tool, because there are many peers of mine who don't have the family support that I do, who just don't have this option, and then one of the parents has to decide to leave the service, and I know that
absolutely
that isn't what they want to do.
Right on.
Absolutely.
Great point. Hey, Jackie, thanks so much. You knocked it out of the park. Congrats again on putting on Major. Good job.